Hi, and welcome to the MyConsultant.ca show. I'm Sarah Ostapchuk.
And I'm Joshua Pantellarosco.
And we're here to help you with the Canadian immigration process. This show is designed to be a brief way to inform you on Canadian immigration news headlines, immigration policy and program concepts, and introduce you to industry experts. So what's making news headlines this week, Josh?
Well, today, our top headline is on November 5th, Quebec announced its plan to welcome 50,000 new permanent residents into the province in 2022, which is along their plans with what they started in 2019. In addition, Quebec will continue to try to fill the remaining 11,000 spots that did not get filled in 2020 due to COVID-19.
Yeah, I think that's really great news. And I'm really glad that they're paying attention to lost numbers due to the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean they had definitely like a goal set for 2024 for the number of residents they'd like to come into the province, and 2020 made that impossible. They were doing some stuff in 2021 as well, and I mean they got 7,000 spots additionally. So I mean they are going to cut to that number. I mean time will tell if they actually will hit 11,000, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's great to at least be mindful of that, and that immigration is still a priority for provinces, even during this pandemic, because I don't think it's by any means completely over yet. So
Absolutely not. That wasn't all the news that happened today. Sarah, there was a lot of news going on with the Provincial Nominee Program there, wasn't there?
yes, there's actually quite a few updates. So the provincial nominee programs are another way to gain permanent residence as an immigrant. And BC and Ontario's PNP actually sent out invitations for people to apply to their programs. So on November 2nd, BC issued 77 new invitations for immigrants to apply to tech occupations, including the skilled workers and international graduate categories. And a minimum score of 75 is required. Similarly, Ontario sent out 20 new invitations on October 28th for immigrants to apply to the entrepreneur stream.
There was some kind of update with Ontario as well, like some kind of system update of some kind.
Yes, it's important to keep in mind that if you happened to submit an application to the Ontario PNP between October 28th and November 1st, it would have been withdrawn because of system updates. So the site was not working at that time.
And for any applicants listening or watching this in any way, shape, or form, if this news does affect deadlines for you, you can contact the OINP office by email at ontarionominee@ontario.ca. And we know there was a lot of PNP information here. That's why this week's Concepts in Immigration is all about PNPs, right there, Sarah?
Yes, we'll be discussing PNPs, what that means generally, and specific provinces' PNPs. So don't worry if you're a little lost. You can always rewatch the news section with that information.
All right. In that case, let's just go to this week's Concepts in Immigration.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Concepts in Immigration. Today, we'll be discussing Provincial Nominee Programs, or PNPs. Before we do that, let's discuss the map of Canada. Canada is made up of 10 provinces and 3 territories. This includes Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, the Yukon, the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. Canada is one nation, but each of its provinces are very unique places to live. It spans a vast geographical space, which means each province has its own climate, culture, economy, and cost of living. If you are choosing PNPs as a method to become a permanent resident in Canada, be sure you select a province or provinces that are well suited to your lifestyle. As mentioned before, PNPs stand for Provincial Nominee Programs. Each province in Canada has its own program, with the exception of Quebec. PNPs are for immigrants who are seeking permanent residence in a specific province and have applicable skills for jobs that are in demand in that province. Nominee means you must be selected by that province in order to pursue this method of permanent residency. Each PNP has its own unique requirements, but all PNPs require you to undergo a medical exam, police check, and have some kind of French or English speaking ability. The medical exam is conducted by a doctor, and he or she will go through a questionnaire with you to determine any health conditions you may have. They will also do a physical exam. This includes taking your height, weight, blood pressure, pulse, and possibly other measurements. This is to ensure you are not medically inadmissible. You might be deemed medically inadmissible if you are considered a danger to public safety, public health, or an excessive demand on social services and health services. This includes any contagious disease such as COVID-19. However, you do not need to be up to date with your vaccinations in order to pass the physical exam. That includes COVID-19 vaccinations. If you wish to have these vaccinations, the doctor may offer them to you, and it is up to you to accept them or not. In the police check, they will take your biometrics, which includes your photo and fingerprints. This is to ensure you are not inadmissible due to security reasons. There are two methods to apply. First is the paper-based process. This is where you apply to the PNP of your choosing, wait to be nominated, and then submit your application to the IRCC. The second is express entry. This is where you apply directly online to the PNPs of your choosing, wait to be nominated, and then create an express entry profile. Or you can create your profile first, select the province or provinces you are interested in, and then wait for a notification of interest from those provinces, which you can accept online. There are many different streams or categories within each PNP, and some PNPs have more than others. Take a look at the government websites for PNPs to see where your skills would be most desirable. Here are some examples of specific streams that may be of interest to you. Alberta has the self-employed farmer stream. Nova Scotia has physicians and labor market priorities for physicians. BC has various occupations in technology. Ontario has semi-skilled French-speaking worker stream and PhD graduate stream. And Saskatchewan has semi-skilled agricultural worker with existing permit, hospitality sector project, long-haul truck driver project, students, and farm owner and operator. That's all for concepts in immigration. I hope this brief overview was a helpful introduction to PNPs. If you'd like more information, there are many resources and government websites online for you to get into details. Now we'll turn to Josh for a profile on Quebec, the only province without a PNP, but has an exciting new immigration plan for 2022. Here's Josh.
Welcome to another special profile segment. This week I will be profiling the province of Quebec. Quebec is the largest province in terms of landmass, second largest in population. It also has one of the longest historical reigns in all of North America. It was founded in 1608 by Samuel de Champlain. He basically made the port of Quebec, which is Quebec City, and it became that way and has existed ever since. It predates Canada by several hundred years. So it has its own unique culture and heritage, and it maintained it throughout its entire history. Quebec City has lived through two major regimes, the French Empire, which was around during the 1600s, and eventually when it translated into the English Empire after the French-English War. Even so, Quebec has been able to maintain a lot of its culture, identity, and heritage and pride. I would dare so far as to say that probably when it comes to patriotism in the country of Canada, I would give Quebec, by and large, the edge on that department. They're very proud of where they've come from. They're proud of their language. They are proud of who they are. And one cannot help but admire that. That all said, in the modern day, there's more than just history. They're in today's present. They are probably more known for so diverse arts, big culture, big history. They still promote that. But they also have a huge comedy festival. Montreal has one of the largest comedy festivals year in and year out. Pandemic aside, of course. The Montreal Canadiens is probably the most famous hockey team in the NHL, has won more Stanley Cups than practically every other franchise that exists, and definitely as many as Detroit Red Wings in the modern era. Beyond all that, they're known for also traditional festivals like Carnival, winter festivals. Very talented musicians, actors, politicians have come from the province of Quebec. Some of our most well-known prime ministers, like Jean Chrétien and the Trudeau family, have origins there. So Quebec plays a very large part of our history, culture, and heritage. In short, they are quite unique. Quebec's rich history and unique qualities extend into its immigration process. Quebec's application process for residence in Quebec is different than any other province in the country. There is no PNPs, much like what was talked about in Sarah's segment. That does not exist for the province. What has happened, though, is that the federal government does play a role in selecting
candidates for immigration. But once that's done, the province then has its own unique requirements and ultimately has a final say in the selection process for any candidate wishing to live there. If selected, the candidate is given an attestation letter called a Certificate of Selection, or CSQ for an abbreviation. Once the letter is given, a candidate has 24 months to complete all procedures for the process of selection to go through, or the candidate will have to start the process from the beginning all over again. Quebec has multiple immigration programs depending on your reason for coming to the province, such as work-related motivations. For example, as an example for this, Quebec has the Skilled Labor Program. This program is for people coming to the province to fill gaps in the workforce that could not be filled with the acquisition of local workers. There's also the Quebec Business Immigration Stream, which allows immigrants to invest, purchase, or collaborate with a business that will be run in the province of Quebec itself. This is further divided into subcategories of the Investor Program, the Entrepreneur Program, and the Self-Employed Program. The Self-Employed Program allows candidates to have their own job to migrate into Quebec. People with the right financial qualifications and 2 years of experience can qualify for this. The Entrepreneur Program is for candidates that have the financial ability and experience to take over a business or to run a business inside the province of Quebec itself. Finally, the Investor Program is for those candidates that have the financial clout to invest in or create the business in the province of Quebec. In addition, there is also the Quebec Experience Class, or PEQ, which is for the Quebec residents that are not yet citizens but have spent time working in the province. They too can apply to become permanent citizens in their province. One of the requirements that is unique to Quebec is that they prioritize French-speaking individuals. Anyone interested in applying to Quebec will have a better chance if they can speak, read, and write the language. And that will do it for this week's profile. Now let's rejoin Sarah and wrap up the show.
That was a really interesting profile on Quebec. And I think maybe what might also be interesting to people watching is the differences in provinces here in Canada.
Yeah, well, just to give you guys an idea, my morning view right now, I am surrounded by mountains. Like, it is one of the most beautiful, I am in literally one of the most beautiful parts of the country right now.
And where are you? Where's your town of origin?
Canmore, Alberta. So
Right.
when I wake up, just to give you a difference, I'm right, there's Highway 1. To the left of me, there's mountains. To the right of me, there's mountains. All around me, there's mountains. It's like, and honestly, I think this is funny because my dad always kind of wanted to live in the mountains, and here I am somehow magically here.
That's really nice. Yeah, the terrain is so different depending on where you are in Canada. And if you're coming from a country that is very small geographically, you might not see as much difference in something as simple as climate. I mean, I think we were both originally from Ontario. At least we both recently came from Ontario. I'm me, Brampton, and you, Windsor. And now I'm in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. So we're still used to cold weather. That's definitely always part of the equation in Canada. But the winds up here are a lot stronger, and the sun is just brighter. There's so much sky. It's that prairie sky.
The first time I went out to Alberta, which was in Calgary, the sun seemed so close. How can it be so close and so cold at the same time?
It's still cold. Don't be fooled. But
it's one of those like
beautiful.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. But you will ask yourself these strange questions depending on where you're at, and every province is different. And but also very beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to have that kind of differentiation across one nation, I think.
It's unique. I honestly think if there's one thing Canadians do take for granted, it is that. That is the one thing we do.
Yeah, we are lucky to be kind of a unified nation, but have a lot to share with each other in terms of culture and all that kind of stuff.
For more information about the topics covered in this show and other shows in the past, please visit MyConsultant.ca, where you can explore up-to-date news on important issues, read in-depth articles explaining immigration and citizenship, and seek answers to your most pressing questions from a vibrant community of authorized immigration and citizenship consultants. Also, check out the MyConsultant.ca LinkedIn page for more information there. And that will do it for this week's episode of MyConsultant.ca. Join us next time. I'm Joshua Pentelarusco.
And I'm Sarah Ostapchuk.
And thanks for letting us help you on your journey to come to Canada.